A local and very popular nonprofit is changing the lives of inner city youth. Brandon Johns is an NAACP policy analyst and the executive director of M.A.N.U.P. Brandon, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
So tell us, what is M.A.N.U.P and what does it stand for?
M.A.N.U.P, the actual name of M.A.N.U.P is Making a New United People. We're a nonprofit organization created initially, not even as a nonprofit, but just to mentor youth, what we call underserved youth. Right now we're doing the Takoma Park area, but we'd like to do it at some point in the whole D.C. metropolitan area.
And so it's making a new united people?
Making a new united people.
Okay.
Correct.
And so what are the age ranges?
We range between 12 to 19. Oftentimes now we have youth who kind of age out of that 19 area. We're trying to use them as peer mentors. A lot of that is still kind of in the works, but we still have youth who are like 20, 21 in the program who come visit and kind of mentor and speak to the younger kids about their trials and tribulations and their actual progress and what they've done so far. So it works out well.
And we've actually seen a couple of you guys, seen a couple of your kids out here in the community center.
Yep.
They're usually out here also in the city council.
Yep.
That's a good thing. I mean, what makes your group unique?
I think what makes our group unique is, one, our kind of curriculum and what we're trying to really, I guess, I don't want to say teach the kids, but what we're trying to expose them to. And another part of the mentors. To be honest, we're mostly, I say relatively young, because I'm getting kind of up there in age at this point, but relatively young.
We're there with you. Don't worry.
Slow down.
Don't worry.
Slow down.
I realized it though. I said the other day, I said a joke to the kid. I said something like chump, and the kid said, "What does that mean?" I said, "All right, well, that doesn't work here."
Yeah, that's
way back above their heads.
Wow. And they really didn't know. They had no idea, so I was shocked. But I think we can understand. We come from shared backgrounds, so. When they see me, they see them. They see themselves. So, I mean, I think that really adds an additional component to the program. It's not like they feel like they're working with people they don't have a shared background with. They actually know I have had these same experiences as them and so forth and so on. So I think that actually is what kind of propels the program. And I think another big part of the program is we're trying to teach them that, not teach them, but we're trying to have them think that being cool is not necessarily what they're showing on TV and being on the corner or doing something illegal, but getting an education, being socially active in your community, helping out, things like that.
Developing leadership skills.
Exactly. Things that right now our community as a whole is not really pushing forward, but we're trying to change that and make sure these things are now cool, like education.
Now, when you were younger, did you participate in a similar type of program?
I did. There's a couple programs in my neighborhood. I'm from Philadelphia. There's a couple good programs. And my mother actually ran a program, which kind of, when I look at it, when I think back on it, that probably kind of made me want to do it now. I'm kind of seeing how the program worked with the kids. But yeah, there's a local community center. We played basketball all the time, and there's other programs they had. And just having my mom there and having people there who would come talk to us, it was great. They didn't have, my mom was a little bit older, so it wasn't like a Man-Up necessarily, but it was one lady coming, taking her time out and really showing us things we hadn't learned before, we didn't know before, so it was great. It was great.
And as far as your work in this field now as an adult, how long have you been working in this field?
Well, we've been doing Man-Up since 2009, March of 2009, so 4 years now since we've been here. Before that, I mean, I've always worked in the neighborhood. I mean, I've always worked with the community. I've always worked with youth. Before that, I worked for a nonprofit. I've worked a couple different jobs, but directly with a nonprofit called Parent Watch, and we advocated for parents and youth. And I worked with youth in the YSC Center in D.C. on Mount Olivet Road. So, and those were detained youth a lot of times, and a couple of youth in Oak Hill at the time as well. So I've been doing it for probably around 7 to 8 years now, working with kids, and it's something I want to stick with, and it's important to me, and I think it should be important to everyone as well.
So the program's been around for 4 years, and you guys are just now reaching out to City Council. What's changing? I mean, what made you guys come out that day to meet with the council members?
To be honest, it was a great day, the day it all happened. We had a presenter come. We had the county executive, Ike Legge, come, which is a great day for us. He kind of gave a speech to the kids. He told the kids where he came from and the trials and tribulations that he had getting to where he is now and how he's become now successful. During that meeting, the mayor of Takoma was also there, and he asked the kids at the end of the program, what are you guys looking to? What can help the neighborhood out? What can help you guys out specifically? He mentioned that they're thinking about doing some things around a public library opening on Sunday, I believe. But then he asked the kids, what do you guys think would be beneficial? The kids pretty much all yelled out, more days of Man Up, more programs like Man Up. We want Man Up to be more often. We want Man Up. So at that point, the mayor said, you know what, that's a great idea. I can see how this program is beneficial. If you guys would come out to the city council and kind of explain to us why you need the program and why it's necessary and things like that, we can possibly work some things out. So I'm happy to say that we're nothing's happened yet, but we're working with the mayor and the city council and to trying to get these funds and things like that to help out the program.
What type of benefit will the funds meet? I mean, I know you guys already go on trips. There's some type of stipend that you would like to actually offer mentors now?
Yeah, there is. I mean, as you can imagine, we come every Tuesday, and there are mentors from all around the city. So it's difficult sometimes to get there. I mean, these are all working people as well. So understandably, they've been doing it since 2009. We all have been doing it for free, and it's not a problem. If anything, we established this saying that we weren't trying to get money out of it or anything like that, so it's understandable. At this time, we're feeling the kids, I don't want to say need more of us, but they would like to have us more. We think we can have more of an impact if, one, we had more days possibly. So that'd be a benefit to actually be able to be here more often,
Keep them off the streets as well.
Exactly, keep them off the streets. And kind of be here more often with them, mentoring and explaining things. And also like the trips. I mean, take them on trips to museums and things like that. But it'd be good to be able to take them on like a trip out of state or, you know what I'm saying, something really to open their eyes, and that's going to take a little bit of money. We want things like college tours for them, and that takes a little more funding. But really just solidifying the program and coming to some point where we can really have it a great program and work with the kids as often as possible is what we really want funding for.
And just briefly, Brandon, what are some of the issues that these kids are facing?
The education they're receiving in school is not great. I'm not saying the schools aren't great schools, but their connection with school and how much they're learning from it and taking from it in their grades, they're not doing well. Some of our kids are doing great. Let me not say that all of our kids are doing well. Some of our kids are A students, doing wonderful, always have been. But another percentage of our kids is doing the opposite, not going to school as much. They're not involved as much. It seems that the schools aren't paying as much attention as we'd like them to do. So for that, I mean, I think we try to help them out with that education they're missing. Another part of our program is keeping our kids off the streets and keeping them out of trouble. From time to time, when you do have problems in school and you're suspended or whatever the case is, or just when you're not that interested, you get involved in other things. So they could be out on the street or something like that, and who knows what type of legal things they may get into. So having more man-up time and having more of us telling them this is why they shouldn't do that, this is why you guys shouldn't be selling drugs or whatever the case is, that's what our program is here for. And really just expose them. There are a lot of things in our community I think the kids need to learn that are not being taught in school. And sadly, sometimes by parents, and some parents are great, obviously, as I'm sure we know, but sometimes the kids aren't receiving that education at home, which is also what we're trying to supplant. We can't be parents at all, but we're still trying to impart some knowledge with them that they might not be receiving from other places.
When it comes to the funding and the support you're trying to get from the city, is it just a matter of submitting a proposal and all sort of goes well, or is the process?
You know what? I'm not totally sure. I mean, we've submitted some grants and proposals thus far, but some things for the city, especially the city of Takoma. I think I'm not totally sure, to be honest. We've had conversations with the mayor and the council members, and it seems like they're on board. We're still trying to work out some things, so I don't really know what they need for us to submit next. So I'm looking forward to hearing what is needed to hear, what's needed back from us. But I mean, they've seen the program. I think they've seen the kids at the city council and heard what they need. So I'd be willing to give anything that is needed to the city council if whatever is needed, to give them a detailed block budget of what we've done, what we need money for, and how this money will be accounted for, and things like that. So I mean, it can work. We have a treasurer already set up, and he can definitely make that budget and explain anything they like to see. So we're willing to do whatever they like.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
you guys have done the first step by coming out to city council meetings and also just being on the show. Thank you so much for coming on, Brandon.
Thank you,
very
Rory. I
much.
really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, and if you'd like to learn more information about Man Up, you can go on to manupnow.org. Sounds good, right?